Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
Outworld Devourer.
Dire team pick.
Welcome back, guys. Halfway through that game, I felt a little bit dizzy, a little bit
Dire team pick.
feverish. It started to come out, and it wasn't just because of Mineski absolutely wiping the floor with Rave in that one. Absolutely disgusting as we saw them progress through the game. But I've had a bit of coffee. Kit Kat has brought me a little milky coffee to get myself back on track and hopefully myself through game number 3. We can live up to the hype as Mineski take on Team Rave here in this best of 3, and it's all on the line. Epicenter Southeast Asian qualifiers, lower bracket here. You lose this game, it's basically down to a best of 1. Win, you progress through against TNC, you lose and you're out. No chance of qualification. So, without further ado, let's welcome in my co-caster who hopefully will be able to carry myself through this final game. What packs?
Reserve time.
Do the draft, buddy.
No, I'm just gonna drink coffee too, so I figure if you just want to, like, in your feverish haze, maybe try and make out what hero was which, you know, stuff like that.
What, just like Pit Lords? Pit Lord? Arc Warden? Why are there 4 Pit Lords? What's going on? No, wait, I'm not on mushrooms. I'm perfectly lucid. I know what's going on. I'm just a little bit out of it. I'm not completely crazy. But right, let's run through this. Earthspirit, Enchantress, Nature's Prophet all banned out, with the Alchemist, Darkseer, Spectre, and Bounty Hunter taken out by Team Rave. Mineski, Outright Avenge. That was the Team Rave opener, and Team Rave respond with OD Oracle, which was Mineski's opener in the previous game. It was, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that was the same.
It was definitely Bat Revenge, and then it was OD something. I can't remember if it was OD Oracle. Very simple draft.
Radiant team.
The OD Oracle. I mean, it's a classic combo. Something people talk about quite a bit. It's kind of like the Omni Oracle, or the Omni OD for pro play, just because the Oracle's kind of more favored, clearly. And the matchup last game, it's just like the way the heroes were matching up, just on a pure level. I would have given that game to Mineski, but I will admit, like, I did think that Rave would be able to pull it out just because they seem to have been performing better lately. But when you have like the Oracle up against the Batrider, obviously made a big difference. There were a lot of saves using the False Promise, and then similarly just helping out the OD through the engagements as well. There was some really good synergy heading over there, and having the Oracle to make sure it wasn't going to be picked up against the Darkseer, like, it was a really solid draft out from Mineski last game. And once again, like, this 4 lineup they have already, the Venge, the Beastmaster, the Invoker, the Batrider, super solid. But this time I feel like there are some more counters over here from Rave. Like, now this time it's going to be Rave. We're going to have the Oracle up against the Batrider. You've also got the Outworld Devourer up against the Batrider, which is huge because you can Astral Imprison someone, or even the Batrider, you know, whoever you can snag. And then just the PL up against the Invoker in the mid lane. We've seen this time and time again, and with the Beastmaster and the Vengeful Spirit already committed, which we're assuming is this like supportish Beastmaster thing happening here, it feels like the PL is just going to walk all over the Invoker, because who's going to be helping him mid now?
Rough proposition. And I guess they've got like the Beastmaster to try and control off that bot lane, and Oracle and Witch Doctor roaming into that mid. Where does the Batrider go? Is this a Beastmaster support in the jungle with Iron Talon and Batrider on
That's what I'm kind of wondering. That's my initial impression would be that, unless we're going like some OG Dota. I guess were they OG when they were doing that, or were they still monkey whatever? I don't know which monkey they were. Yeah, can we talk, like, why do we have like 2 potential Avenger teams? We just got done with 2 potential monkey teams. I'm tired of this, like, same names. Sort your stuff, guys. Get different team names. Anyway. I don't think it's going to be like Position 1 Beastmaster, although it was something that was like pulled out. It was kind of cool. I think it will be like the supportish Iron Talon thing.
I mean, if they're expecting PL mid and OD safe lane, they could run Beastmaster mid and have the Invoker safe lane, Batrider off, and pick final support. But if you pick up a support now, it's kind of obvious that that's the route you're going to take, and then Team Rave can adjust accordingly and put the OD mid. It's this game of like give and take, you know, getting into the head of your opponents. Mineski, they've got displacement abilities with Swap and Lasso, with a
10
Blink on Bat Rider. They've got
seconds
good lockdown and a ton of magic damage. They are lacking in some damage though,
5
and
seconds
definitely
remaining.
lacking in ways to find out the real PL and clear through his illusions as we get into the mid game.
Reserve time.
Team Rave, they've got one saving support with the Oracle, able to keep the OD alive, and Vengeful Spirit, of course, with that swap back and give up the Invoker once she reaches level 6. But I think they need to aim towards maybe buffing out this Aura draft, because Beastmaster Venge, they're so good with Inner Beast and Vengeance Aura at giving these right-click carries a much more potent kind of early game ability to not only team fight but push towers.
Are you
A Juggernaut,
are you
maybe?
suggesting? Oh, I thought you were just going full the Drow.
Oh.
I mean, they don't have the best jump.
I don't know, I think Juggernaut with the Battle Fury or Ember Spirit, yeah, that works out as well against the Phantom Lance. I was just looking at something that has like right-click potential but also goes like into Cleave and Battle Fury. Juggernaut or Anti-Mage were maybe on my list of things, but Abaddon definitely did not make my list of heroes for Team Rave. Looks like that's going to be their off-laner.
Yeah. So they're just kind of thinking, yeah, we already have the Oracle. I'll go for the Abaddon as well. Have that to cancel out that Lasso. Decent up against the Ember Spirit too. In terms of the laning stage, Greedy Beastmaster. I'd be a little concerned about the Boar. It could have like more of an impact on the Abaddon than you would think on maybe some other offlaners. And they did still have the Tide potential available. So now I'm going to be like spending this whole game thinking like, what if this was a Tide? Like, is that something that could have made a difference here? I don't know. It's kind of a fast and loose hero, the Abaddon. Like, he doesn't have that big cooldown like the Ravage, He's someone who wants to be in and out of the fight over and over, throwing out Mistcoil here, You get enough Photic Shield, you get enough Photic Shield. But he doesn't provide any of that kind of control that you need when it's up with an OD. So, like, this OD, like, Jay's going to be trying to right-click through Cask.
But then he completely negates Mineski's control, right? Because you've got two saving heroes here between Abaddon and the Oracle. How does Mineski actually get their damage down onto the dual core lineup of Rave? The PL and the OD, they're going to have shields and Fortune's End and all sorts of stuff being and False Promise from being thrown onto them. Then they've got the triple heal between Witch Doctor, Oracle, and Abaddon. It's going to be really difficult for Mineski to actually lock onto a target and damage flowing onto them. The Photic Shield, taking off Lasso and stuff like that. I think Rave have a good chance if they can get through the laning phase. That's going to be the difficult thing here. When you have an Abaddon, he's not the strongest of laner, like you said, at applying pressure onto these supports. Once he gets into like shield plus the Curse of Avernus, sure enough, he can run at people a little bit. Going to be the easiest of prospects for him, but looking at the way they've set up these lanes, Ben-Hur and Invoker can be heading towards the mid, Raging Potato, safe lane Ember Spirit, with Jules, Iron Talon, 4-roll Beastmaster, and Jesse Vash, the 5 Venge. Ocarino playing that Bat Rider down on bottom lane, Rappy, the Abaddon with real mid PL, 4-man shield already up for him, the Oracle and Derp on the Witch. Well, Jo will Devour on his safe lane, already getting these napalm stacks up on him. Getting forced back towards his tier 2. Mana expended there by Bocarino, but he did a good amount of damage back onto Jo. Sure, and already the block has been ruined by that turn rate from Sticky Napalm.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was going to try that kind of a cheeky play again. But he's got this one more. Just going to be blocking out that pull. So with just the Witch Doctor here from Derp, probably going to have a little bit better time than last game. Like, not needing that big pull through to do something up against that Oracle and the Spectre. And we'll see if he can apply a little bit more pressure on the safe lane than Rave were able to in the previous game with that Spectre getting wildly out of control. And Bocarino already getting right-click down to the early point in the Arcane Orb. You get 4 points in Napalm, but you can't fight that.
See, this with me, what he's doing now is kind of interesting. A lot of other offlaners, I think Forev is a prime example of this. He would have backed off from lane and stacked up the camp already. Because by stacking that camp, you can pretty much just build that up, go back to lane, get level 2, and then you go and clear out the camp a little bit. Oh god, Ben-Hur. Damage output onto him is pretty intense from Ninja Boogie. Not going to be enough to kill him though. Oh, the Invoker. Delves up. Self up and running, but this is the thing with the Phantom Lancer here. You were mentioning it's not going to be easy or even possible for Mineski to roam in onto the PL, and Invoker's stuck in a straight 1v1 or even a 1v2. The Oracle makes up the numbers, and off towards the middle lane. And then you've got a 1v2 on bottom lane where Batrider's getting demolished as well. The Beastmaster, it's that investment, right? You have to make damn sure that he doesn't get contested in the jungle, gets quickly into his level 4 or 5, gets his boots, gets into Necro. It's going to be that first primal roar that they have to utilize fully
Top
with
lane.
the Sunstrike or what's happening up atop. Rappy, he's going to use his Fairy Fire, pop that one out. Jesse Vash cancels out the salve. I'm going to say he cannot get the kill. Does at least make sure that the Abaddon doesn't have an easy time over there. Meanwhile, up at top rune spot, Jules, Fortune's End in an illusion room for Ninja Boogie, damage output. He's got his nice little purifying flames he wants to throw it, but Rio doesn't get there in time to get the lance onto the Beastmaster. That's time wasted for Jules. Really has to focus very, very heavily on farming in this jungle.
Well, speaking of farming in the jungle, bo3 back home, level 3. He'll go back down the wave for now. I wonder if he will end up being forced there. And they still don't have a stick up on Jayo. I mean, it's kind of a little bit questionable, I think. I feel like he should have that by now. A couple cast bounces here. Is this enough?
No procs, Jayo. I would be so tilted by that. You know, you're throwing out these arcane orbs, you've got level 2 essence aura, and you're like, come on, just give me one proc. I've seen people get like 5 procs in a row and you get 0. Jayo gonna be a little bit salty about that, I think. Over towards Dire Jungle. These illusions actually out from Ninja Boogie already mightily annoying Jules. The jungle's getting blocked up, he's having a difficult old time actually farming in there and get contested just by illusions. Definitely not the most fun thing you can handle. His Iron Talon will allow him to progress through and keep on farming across, but no, Ember Spirit given a pretty free farm time up on top lane. 20 last hits across the PL and Ember. And it's OD! Looking at him, Jayo. He's actually lagging behind a fair amount on this safe lane Outworld Devourer.
Yeah, like bo3, he is trading HP and a little bit of experience. Like, he's really getting up in their face, you know? Like, he's getting right-clicked, and it is causing Jayo to miss some last hits. He's being forced to zone him out. He kind of has to participate in it, whereas Jesse Vash kind of solo up here is keeping back Rappy. Maybe it's just because of how early he was able to start applying that pressure that it's harder for those initial couple levels where it was a pretty early level 3 for the Batrider, and that's really been helping him out. And again, Ben-Hur, just look at this pressure. It's just, every time I see this matchup, I just can't get over, like, where was this matchup for so long? Like, suddenly it's every single game the PL's getting banned up against Invokers, and this is why.
You cannot withstand it. You absolutely cannot. It's just so difficult. And then when you try and, you know, get the Force Spirit Cold Snap onto the PL, you just doppelganger away. And Doppel keeps you perfectly sustained. Now, Oracle and Abaddon, they've made their way up to top lane to just try and keep Raging Potato down a little bit, maybe run themselves towards Jesse Vash's eventual threat, because without boots, the Venge, very susceptible to just getting jumped on and chased down. Gonna be a Vlad's, I think, out from this Beastmaster. Primary item. Raging Potato takes a bit of a pummeling. All these lanes static. Moment in time, anyway. Up and Jayo maybe thinking about the kill over in bo3. Firefly is up and available again. They've got Cask as well. Jayo, OD, 3 stick charges available. Well, things off with a couple of hits of that arcane orb, but again, the no procs from Jayo makes this so awkward for him to deal with.
This Beastmaster, I'm having questions. I'm not sure what it's even going to be able to provide. Like, I feel like it's just going to be another Batrider, and yeah, maybe it's just because he can only cast the False Promise on one, but they just went ahead and drafted the Abaddon. So now, like, there's going to be numerous aphotic shields going off, and I just wonder, like, what if it was something like a Night Stalker, who farms essentially just as fast, if you're just going to be AFK in the jungle, who has the option of at least contesting mid. Is Jules actually going to die here before spending his gold? That's
Stout Shield! I mean, whew.
Buy your boots, man, like, come on. That was close.
I think a Nyx Assassin would have been even better. Just a jungle Nyx with an Iron Talon. Against an OD, against these, you know, 2 squishy imp supports. Having a Nyx there. Iron Talon through and get level 6 quickly and then come out of the jungle, you know, with Arcane Boots and Urn or something like that and just run people down over and over again. Because I think the Beastmaster, his job is just to alleviate pressure away from this Invoker and the Ember Spirit and create as much space as he can. bo3, oh, they're jumping onto Jayo with a rotation from Jesse Vash. Go for Astrals, but it's going to be dirt. Turned around on the sticky napalm, gets the first blood of Jesse Vash, and now Jayo's in trouble as well. Burnt through with the Firefly, so strike will be thrown out, but bo3 right click down, but it's not enough damage. The Batrider gets himself away from there, and Ninja Boogie doesn't pick anything up, so a 2 for 0. It's top lane, Raging Potatoes diving in behind this tier 1 onto Rappy. Great play and good rotation from the Vengeful Spirit as Jesse Vash completely sets up for these kills.
Alright, well, this is the kind of stuff you need, right? Like, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say need, but you definitely want to be ahead. You certainly don't want to be behind coming up this jungle phase, not too much at the very least. Like, you're playing so greedy with Jules that as long as you can keep the rest of the team together and they're not falling too far behind, then it should be relatively okay to start moving into that mid-game phase, but I wasn't expecting the OD to have a chance at going down there. And that means the Lasso's now up here for bo3. He's got pretty decent farm considering he's the Tranquils as well, so maybe it'll be enough. Maybe he'll be able to smoke up, maybe even before the Blink Dagger comes online, if he can be partnered up with that Beastmaster who's close to 6. Might be able to see some pretty neat roar into Lasso combos, enough damage coming out.
He's close to 6, but he should be 6 already. 7 minutes in. You know, the way we've seen this run in the past, Beastmaster can farm quickly over in the jungle. Jules, not had the best camps to be fair, and he's also being tested by the Oracle, but still have a little more to his name, I feel, than what he's been given here. He's got his Vlads though. That's definitely going to bolster line up a fair amount. Well, Invoker, what we're looking at, Assy Null, 6.5 minutes in, not the greatest as he's sitting on 1600 net worth, and the Phantom Lancer starting to race ahead of everyone. Ember Spirit is struggling a little bit to keep par at mid PL. But I think the amount of pressure they've been able to put onto Jo and limit his farming capabilities has been, you know, relatively worth it here for the rest of Mineski. Yeah, a tiny amount, and I don't know, it's difficult to say who's going to come out on top because Rave are very good at reacting to Mineski's teamfight capability, but Mineski has very, very good initiation and damage output on that first target that they spot and kill. It's going to come down to positioning, come down to warding. Who gets the first sight of people? The Beastmaster Hawk is going to be imperative here for Mineski to scout out a target and actually, you know, work out whether there is an Oracle or if there's an Abaddon nearby to actually get this Aphotic Shield or False Promise down onto a target. They don't really care too much about OD at this point. It's literally just these two saving supports, or the offlaner and support, going to be the linchpin heroes for Rave.
Yeah, that's precisely what I was about to mention as well. Just how important these Aphotic Shields are going to be, and where the Oracle is, like just having TPs always being there.
Oh, well, the first roar up the top, Rappy, he's not level 6, and the Sunstrike will secure the kill there for Ben-Hur's Invoker. Get himself closer to the Midas, which he so needs. 400 gold after Gloves of Haste, he's still, you know, another K away. That does give him 200 gold on his journey towards the golden money hand. Maybe even lets Mineski away at the tier 1 up at top lane. Facts. Allow Raging Potato jumping onto Ninja Buggy. Little route of escape there and away. But again, we come back to Rave and their inability to roam onto these lanes, right? They don't have a ganking hero. They don't have someone who can actually move around and they don't have a hero that does shit. They don't have a hero that goes and makes action happen. They kind of right. We sit back, we wait for Mineski to jump on us, and then we do stuff. We wait for you. That's why we're going to start seeing Rave really group up on these lanes and try and bolster and bunker down to make sure Mineski cannot do anything with their disables and damage. But on the flip side, you know, it's just like this back and forth, right? You do that, and then Ember Spirit has room to farm. Batrider gets time to get his Blink Dagger. Means OD gets a little bit of time to farm. The jump capability is always here, but it's going to be a top rune fight where it's like 4v4. Raging Potato, I don't know if he's got a remnant, but he's definitely getting right-clicked down into Oblivion Rio.
War into.
The Sunstrike on the Derp, he thought he would get him, but it's a jump forward. Raging Potato catches Derp, Witch Doctor, but the healing through. Look at this. The damage output's not good enough for Mineski, and Jo even joins the fight as well. Raging Potato has no mana left, he's getting chased down up on the high ground. Rio with another lance forward. Raging Potato does not have mana to jump down onto the remnant, but Jo is down on the low ground, in the river and in his grave. The roll back, finally from Jules, catches Rio, just the Phantom Lance has a double ganger up again, he's going to jump himself back again, but Jules, he's right clicked into Oblivion. The heals come through from Ninja Boogie, and Derp keeps sustaining through it all. And now Ben-Hur on the way out with no mana left. Everyone is so freaking low. But it's a 2-for-1 as OD trades his life for Ember and Beastmaster. And this is the thing, just Rave. Keep the heals flowing. And Mineski couldn't answer it with enough damage.
Yeah, that was honestly like a massive save by Jo. He comes in there And there was about to be the roar. They were about to kill Rior. Like, he had just gotten a Photic shield, and he was just up in that northern part, and the roar was about to come flying out from the Beastmaster, and he got right-clicked once, and lost the mana that he needed by Jo. So, big play to save Rior, and of course, that's the damage that they really need to clean up that fight. Like, without it, yeah, Jo went down for it, but he's the only reason they came out on top in that one.
That do level-wise, so we've got Oracle nearly level 6, level 9 PL, level 8 OD now, moving towards the tier 1, towards the middle lane, nearly level 6 Witch Doctor, so the two supports actually over on the Radiant, sitting on the 6, and you finally got your ultimate back up onto Rappy as well. Now you're waiting for Ember Spirit really to get into your Aquil, your drums, your boots of travel and all of that nonsense. Wait, has he got drums done? He does. Got his drums now, actually going for the stats.
Ocarina looking for the blink.
Earlier in there we go up to Jo. Remnants, Reggie Gator, flippantly whiffs that one. They tried to heal up the Abaddon, and they're actually keeping him alive. Jo, though, is the one that dies. Ninja Boogie chased down, and the damage level from Mineski is finally enough. Rappy in the thick of things in the middle of 5 heroes here from Mineski. And there we go. 4 down, 0 in return, and Rave. They did not see that one coming. Good prioritization, though, as bo3 caught the Abaddon, so there was no shield. The Outworld Devourer got dragged back to Oblivion.
Well, imagine if that was a Tidehunter. No, I'm just kidding. Again, it was kind of the same place that, I don't want to say, like, it was kind of last game, like, Rave lost it right here, you know what I mean? Like, that dive, and it wasn't so much their own fault this time, maybe just the positioning, but if you're going to be drafting, like, the Oracle, I would think that you'd be waiting the 17 experience to move in, just knowing how important it's going to be up against the Batrider. Like, unfortunate timings, one could say, but you really do need that kind of stuff when you're going for these bigger plays and these bigger pushes in. And it was the Blink Dagger reveal as well, which is also pretty important to keep in general context here for Rave and what they were expecting. So, I don't know. It's time to start moving back in towards, like, the Roshan pit will be one of the bigger parts of this game. Maybe for Rave, like, you're always looking for that 15-20 minute Aegis up on top of your Outworld Devourer. You want to give Jo a chance to really make the most out of his right clicks. You already have the Oracle. They're a little bit busy, though, him and the Abaddon, you know, trying to deal with this Batrider, the roars, and if Jo's not the target, which, you know, it's basically whoever's just far enough away. I don't know, bo3 on the side again. He's got that blink again. But Ninja Boogie and Rappy, better positioning. Here we go.
Jo gonna save him though. There's the false promise back into Jo. Oh, the team fight. Gonna break apart as Rio TP's in. They've got Jules. He turn around with the roll back onto the OD, but Jo dropping low with the shield down, the Death Ward out. They're gonna do a lot of damage back onto Mineski, but they want to re-engage. bo3 jumping forward. The shield's still up onto this OD. But Rave, they've got the heals to keep them flowing and going through onto this tier 1. The rest of Mineski, though, this is the trouble. You group up as 5 down on bottom lane, and you've got the mid split push by Ben-Hur. He's got his Midas up and everything being delivered out to him. Another drums for him, as well as Ember Spirit pressuring in onto this tier 1 at top. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, I have been taking lessons from OD Rap God Pixel. I've become one with the spamming of words. Dear Lord.
I blame the fever.
I blame the fever as well. Oh, hang on a second. Hello, bo3 jumping forward, looking for the go, but he's all alone. 1v3. Rappy turns back with his PL TPing in. Flame break back, but Lance forward. Will catch him out with a Purifying Flames. Oh, swap. Jesse Bad takes him back to safety. bo3 going to get healed up as well. They've caught Rio with the same chains. Jump forward from Raging Potato, clears him up as well. And where did the Vengeful Spirit go? TP back to Fountain. Raging Potato is again 1v3. It's just Mineski trying to bait Rave into utilizing all of their save abilities before really committing anything of their own.
And now? And now what, though? Like, it's kind of the same situation. And they make all these saves, and it looked like they were going to win that fight, and they get the objective, but maybe just hanging around a little bit too long. Raging Potato makes pretty big plays here. I'm digging it. PL's down. And that net worth graph, man, it is trending downwards at quite the pace.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And it only feels like it's going to get kind of worse here, right? Like, Midas, they're now getting the Roshan.
This is where
what's happening?
This is where this 4-all Beastmaster comes into play, right? Because he's 700 net worth lower than the OD. OD has very little farm, drums and treads. The Invoker is now, you know, leapfrogging ahead of everyone. Ember Spirit's farming himself away. And Phantomancer, even after his amazing laning stage, hasn't had that progression into his bigger items. And with the jump here, the Rave, they've got the vision over onto Mineski, but Mineski, they're the ones with the damage and the initiation tools, and maybe the way to kill off the Abaddon. They've got the Ice Ball drop down, and Simboga is keeping them all evaded. It's the roll back on the Ninja Boogie, the jump forward from Bokuin looking for the last one to dirt, but it's the Astral Pusman down onto the Beastmaster, takes him out, but he's not skip. So it's actually Mineski turning back to the meatball, drop down, the save back on the jail, but Ninja Boogie has no HP and limited actual utility to give back onto them. The agent is probably expected, but dirt death forward. There we go. Batrider Flame breaks across, and Jo pumping up the damage, but it's Raging Potato alive once more again. Rio tries to hold out this team fight, a 4-for-3 so far, but Flame Guard clears up through a couple of these illusions, and Rio is trapped alone up against the Semper Spirit. Rio, you've got to run. You cannot deal with his DPS. He's got another doppelganger available to get on his steering chains and a lance as well to throw, but Raging Potato is not giving up just yet. Rio turns the fight. Raging Potato is in a 1v1. This is just a back and forth between these two, and Rio, maybe he's got the upper hand now. 17 stick charges, another lance to give out, and Raging Potato will finally give up and back away. No more posturing, no more butting of heads. These two Rams, they know that they're as strong as each other.
Nice one. Well, Rio, I mean, that kind of looks like your late game PL, you know, where your team, it kind of looks like maybe they're losing the fight, but your PL's just able to whip it all up, you know, right at the end and cleans everybody. So Rio ends up kind of doing that, pulls out a solid 1K from that engagement, well on his way into that Diffusal Blade. Considering he's the bot sub already, he's kind of the one green hope right here in this net worth chart. Sitting up there amongst the elites of Mineski. And if they can't get a hold on him, like, you gotta imagine, once he actually has that Diffusal Blade, he becomes that prime target, be it for the lasso, be it for the roar. And between Doppelganger, the Aphotic Shield, the False Promise, even just Cask bouncing around the Astral Imprisonment, I mean, the saving mechanisms. It's going to be kind of crazy once that Diffusal is there for Rior. This whole supporting Cask, they're going to be basically at his will. So it'll be on Bocarino, try and make these big 4-staff plays, pull him far enough away. If they can kill him, though, like, what'll be left in the tank for Rave? Not too much, I don't think.
It's going to be difficult for them. I mean, we look at their team fight sustain. Again, like I was saying, 5-6 minutes in, up for these team fights that we're starting to see now, it's all about the vision. All about the vision. Still can get the double hawks out and actually scout where the Oracle, where the Abaddon is standing, and actually land down his roar onto either one of those two, and then you've got, you know, the swap and the lasso to catch the other one. Mineski actually have good ways of starting the fights that disallow Rave from actually fulfilling their game plan, just to stop the initiation. That's what Rave want to do. Rave want Mineski to initiate on them, and then they counteract with their abilities. Mineski have just kind of outmaneuvered and outsmarted them in all of these missions here, and look at Raging Potato's Ember Spirit. What is there to stop? There are no hexes, there are no real good guaranteed stuns.
Yeah, exactly, and well, that's the thing, because yeah, you want them to initiate and you're gonna save them, but then what's after that is kind of my question here, because the only way I can think of Mineski losing a fight right now is if they have to like crazy overextend in like kind of like a 1K player kind of a mentality of like, oh, kill the Abaddon, oh, what's his ultimate doing, he's healing back up, and then they're like way too deep and die or something. But I mean, they're not gonna fall for that, right? Like, they're just, yeah, you save our initiations, we can back off, but where's the catch from your side? Is it gonna be this Diffusal Blade? Maybe. Like, maybe that'll be enough to force them to engage, but what about Jo? Like, he's just sitting on drums, he's gonna have to get in a lot of right clicks. I just don't know if they have the way to force Mineski to actually do anything.
Oh, Jesse Vash. He's gonna have an Ether Lens soon. Wait, does he have it out? No, that's a gem. He's picked himself a juicy little gem. Blink on the OD. You're asking for some catch for Rave, and that might just be it as they smoke themselves up in their own base. Hawk scouted them out or gave vision. But the fact is, they're not defending mid lane. There's no one here farming this wave. There's no one farming bot wave. It's a very obvious smoke here, and you can see Mineski's movement just themselves away from any form of danger. Stay high ground. Vision over these ramps. Don't get jumped on. Ben Hur. Maybe this is going to be the one they look for. They've actually got the damage down, but swap back. Jesse Vash keeps his teammate alive, and the Ghost walk away. Just a martyr, vengeful spirit. Gives up her life. And again, the trade-off is Raging Potato farms mid and shoves these waves out. Mocha TP's top, shoves that wave out. Every time Rave group up as 4 or 5, Mineski, they're just grasping the entirety of the map.
Yeah, just solid positioning. Like, we're talking about how important it's going to be. And I heard a lasso. Oh, yeah, they do have it up onto Ninja Boogie, so. The Lonely Oracle. Oh, but they're coming in now.
Wants to fight this one through. Boogie is still alive, barely though, and Reggie Potato was thinking about jumping himself back in there. Ben Hur with his blink dagger now just continues split push.
Yeah, there's really no reason that. Maybe now, if they want to guard this, I feel like they do have that option. No lasso. It'll be the roar that would have to start it off.
Raging Potato.
Radiant's top tower is under
Jules in the back line as well. It's coming in with the Necros.
Boogie, there's the saving grace actually taken out, but there's no lasso here for bo3. Cast is good. Jo, the Eclipse is down, but the Sunstrike will clear him up, and Ninja Boogie taking so much damage. Even if there was the bat right here, it's fine. Dub! The Death Sword doesn't do a freaking thing, and Rappy chased back with the Hydra with Rio trying to TP out, so they haven't been stopping TP. They do! The Tain's out from Raging Potato, cancel through, and it's a 5-man freaking wipe. Mineski don't lose a soul. They are the Reapers of Souls, as Rave have no chance whatsoever.
I mean, this is, after game 1, not how we were expecting game 2 and game 3 as it's looking, at least so far, to be going. Mineski, they just cranked it up, man, turned the dial to 11. I'm not sure if this whole 6.83 dual defensive support thing is going to be working out too well here. Or 6.84 rather, I suppose. We don't want to go that far back. No, ha ha ha. But, just the fact that they didn't have that do shit hero. They really didn't. It's like, even their offlaner isn't even the do shit hero. It's in a bad for
Stealing my words now. Stealing my words.
I mean, they were just so eloquently put. How can't I? I mean, what's a better way to say it than shit? So, can't blame me for that one.
I mean, you could use words like, proactive. That's a pretty good word actually. I think. Proactive. Yeah.
That's so boring though. Initiator hero. I mean, I'm not looking for the labels in the hero library, Durka.
You want to be vulgar. You want to be vulgar like me.
I mean, it's SCA Dota. What else is there?
Right.
Have you seen the chat?
Oh yeah, I'm watching chat and oh my goodness, please guys. Like I can't time you out when I'm casting, but you racist mofos over there, please just stop. Please just stop.
Well, Mineski. They're looking to close this one out. I just don't know. Like, how fat does Rare have to get?
The biggest problem is, right, it's, at this point, 80% eggs into the Rio basket. Because OD has blink drums. Very limited farm on Jo, and he's not got flash farming capabilities. He needs to fight. There's nothing to set up for him in team fights, and there's no chrono, there's no ultimate to actually trap people in or anything like that, no ravage. And I'm gonna hark back to your comment about maybe if this Madden was a Tidehunter, having that ravage for the OD to actually have a breath of fresh air in these team fights. But EL, like Ember Spirit, and an Ember Spirit who's out-farmed him by 3,000 net worth nonetheless, is not the situation you want to be in.
No, it was a pretty solid last pick. I mean, it's classic PL versus Ember. Not quite as great as it used to be, really. Like the whole Ember counter thing, but when you're this far ahead, so it's certainly going to be putting the damage, and when you're the only thing on the team that's able to get anything done. Like, there's a reason the Faceless Void gets picked and the Tidehunter does get picked with the OD. It doesn't have to be the full, like, 6-7 swings, I mean, it can just be 3, 4, and then putting down the hammer, dropping the Sandy's Eclipse. Like, so much of your damage does come from that, but Jo just doesn't have that opportunity at all. Like, there's just no way. His best chance, maybe, if he has to get False Promise, lasso or not, just to give him some chance to output his damage, even if it means he's just gonna die, because that might just be enough to allow Rior to, like, maybe get in there and clean up the fight. But other than that, like, how can Derp get off his, or Derp, no Derp appearance, wrong region, but how can he get off his ultimate here, There's just so much control. Everyone's got stuns on the side of Mineski.
Doesn't even do that damage.
No, that's like, that's nothing.
Oh, okay, Mopax, let's look at top lane. Double Forge, Necro units, double Boar. It's a whole freaking army up here. That may as well be, 3 heroes pushing in onto that tier 2. Tier 3. The defense is necessary out from Rave. They have to come back and defend, and that means the Phantom Lancer, he is lonely down on this bottom lane. And definitely susceptible to be jumped out by Mineski.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Scary stuff here. There's also an aggressive lane ward, or not even lane ward, but a base ward. Watching out for potential smokes down by that tier 3. There's Roshan alive in about 45 seconds. Sunstrike tries to scout it out, but they'll leave a Forge Spirit in there. Like that. tabs on the big man respawning 25 seconds from now. Yeah, you look at the Vlad's Necro 3 on Jules, and with a medallion over onto Jesse Vash, not going into the Ether Lens, interestingly enough. But I just think Raging Potato at this point, he's too much to handle. No, Rod of Atos isn't going to do anything against your Ember Spirit, there's no Hex, there's nothing to actually control him up and try and limit the, not just mobility, but raw damage output of this Ember Spirit. You've got Battle Fury Blink and soon to have a crit with 1,000 gold waiting for him to spend over in the bank. Absolutely disgusting. And then you think about the Invoker, level 17, already with Ags, 3 points in the Wex. He's going to start pumping out so much damage as well. Like, it's at this point where the Invoker can start thinking about the Tornado, EMP, Meteor, Deafening Blast, like 4-spell combo rotation, and then have, you know, the Ice Wall to follow through, the Forge Spirit, Cold Snap on top of it all, without even mentioning Alacrity onto Ember Spirit. There's just so much this Invoker can give you if he has the room and time in these team fights. And again, we come back to that key pivotal fact that Rave do not have an initiation tool. Don't have a hero.
It's just
they don't have a hero that can break the ranks, you know? Mineski jump in and they find a target. Like, hey, Rave, in any other scenario, they can say, screw it, Witch Doctor, Abaddon, Oracle, whatever. You get jumped and you die. That's fine. Usually in those situations, they die for some kind of trade-off. There's always, you know, there's always something that you get in return. There's usually another hero smoking into the side, you know, someone actually finding another target that's more valuable for you. But in this case, it's going to be a quick and easy Roshan takedown, and Rave, they can't do anything about this.
Yeah, their heroes are heroes that are like itemized heroes, you know, like getting into the site for your OD, you know, maybe then, oh, that'll be our catch in the game, you know, that'll be our initiation. The Abaddon as well, it's like a hero who needs to get up those drums, probably into the Vlads. Looks like that is what he's going for next as well. If you actually want to be fearsome, like getting in there, increasing the attack speed, like you can see some of that synergy, right? You can imagine that had they gotten a good early phase, had they gotten a good laning stage, they could have been up there. They could have been right-clicking. Jo could have been like running through these fights with like false promise on him, but again, it was kind of this whole like mid-fight, just like the game number 2, where they came in unprepared, they didn't have the levels on the Oracle. Yes, they get jumped by the first Blink Dagger, but at the same time, maybe possibly expecting that. And it came down to vision, like just the fact that they were able to get the whole done.
So I think a way of winning a team fight here, I think you legit have to run Abaddon into the meat grinder.
Yes.
You just say, Rappy, bait, go in, please just go in, try your best to do as much as you can, and then you buy time for Rior and Jo, because these two, they're gonna get caught. Good shield though, Rappy keeps his teammate alive. Jo though does not survive through the sleight of fist slap from Raging Potato. Bloody hell, with a buyback available, he might have to force it out here. That EMP catches Ninja Boogie, ultimate down under himself, and Jo buys back, runs in with a Rod of Atos and Jesse Bash, but the Ice Wall will block the advance, and the full retreat with a Meteor! After improvement keeps him alive, Deathward is down to the jump forward from Raging Potato gets Rappy as well, and Jo, shielded up, has to be very careful with his life and how he expends it here, because the rest of Mineski, they still have the roar available. They'll jump forward, Rior, the PL, there we go, jump in again, the Battle Lance answers up, and retreating out, Jo tries to kill him, but Rior, he is doppelganging away. Raging Potato has lifted mana left, and he's got the slight fix of the Ice Wall down as well, blocking that OD from doing any more damage, and Bocarino just forces the rest of them away from this Mineski side, but it's not enough to withstand that damage of Sandy's Eclipse. They got the full lane of racks, only losing the Batrider, and Rave in a tough spot here. How many buybacks did they use? Just the one. They're not going to be able to catch Raging Potato, or will they? He doesn't have a spirit. Actually have a way to retreat in this one. They might be able to get a kill. Astral across to the northeast, but they're keeping on going. They'll find the mana burn from that nice diffusal blade, and finally, they get something worth their while.
Oh, derp. Sunstrike dodge is coming through. Well, I mean, they lost their full set of racks. It definitely can't be understated, but at least they were able to clean up something at the end there. And putting a little bit more gold is hard, the item, though. Obviously, it is what Rior is building into, and I feel like with just the way that these fights have been going and the way that he generally does die, it's just from, like, continuous control that once he's hit once, it's kind of like he's dead anyway. But then again, like, what other item can you even go for here in this scenario?
Yeah, I think against the PL, you know, Guardy, Butterfly, they're okay, but just the raw HP you get from Heart being able to withstand through, just in case you get lassoed or roared and your team can't save you. Having that raw HP through the nuke damage from Mineski, definitely one for him. Baden, I mean, 29 minutes in, Drums, Vlad's, phase boots, not exactly the best progression to your offlaner. Your 3 spot, currently at 6,000 net worth, while the Batrider, what has he got? Ether Lens, Force Blink, plus almost BKB. Sitting pretty, honestly. Blink on Jules, so they've now got the triple blink, quadruple blink threat, with Vengeful Spirit having to swap on top of this. They've got so much mobility, so much displacement, and ways to actually get on top of targets. Rave, even with all the save that they've got between their supports and their offlaner, difficult to withstand.
Yeah, this is the risk that you run when you go for these off-lane Abaddons or Night Stalkers or Spirit Breakers, and typically seen in some sort of a dual lane maybe. But if they don't get that sick lead, like if they don't absolutely crush their lane or at least help crush the other lanes, take all these early towers, like they rely so heavily on it because there's generally just no real farming mechanism on those heroes. They rely on you guys winning team fights, AoE gold, assist gold, maybe a couple kills here and there. But without a farming mechanism of his own, he just currently isn't able to provide much at all, and it turns you into like the dual core lineup, which you can see in the net worth. Like you've totally lost the 3. He just becomes essentially another support, and generally that's enough with an OD and a PL. But the sacrifices that they made in terms of the lead that they did hand over to Mineski, I just don't know. Like they're now hemmed into their base. The Daedalus is up for the Ember Spirit. It's not looking good, Durka.
Last chance saloon, I think, for Rave. The lower bracket, the Epicenter C qualifiers, Jo gets shredded, has to after himself up. There's the Tornado EMP as well, and Ben-Hur pulls down to stop the retreat out. But just look at that splash damage back. Jo drops down to 50 HP, and Rio has to return to Fountain, with Rappy dropping to Necro units and right-click attacks from the Invoker. Mineski, it's high ground push time. Oh, Rave, they need to heal up and get themselves back to the top as quickly as they possibly can. But you cannot take a fight outside your base. You're actually, like you said, hemmed up onto this tier 3, and they can't get themselves aggressively forward in the blink forward. They've got Rio. They just need the save there with the Astral and that false promise, keeping that PL alive. Well, they've lost the Witch Doctor. They're going to lose Rio as well. The Devon blast back onto him. Ben-Hur is right quickly down with the force forward as well. Where is the OD? Where is Jo? He's up on the front line, trying to damage down the Invoker, but it's not going to be good enough. They've lost 4 of them, and GG, well played is called. Mineski defeat Rave in this best of 3. Games number 2 and 3 did not look even whatsoever. Rave put up a great fight in game 1, but game 2 and 3, it was all Mineski.
I don't know, seriously, like, big shout out to Mineski. I think a lot of people maybe underrate him coming this. I don't know, maybe it's just because we've seen so much of Rave and kind of having a history of his squad, and they weren't favored in the odds. I wasn't expecting game 2 and 3 to work out like that, so very impressed. And moving forward, like that was 2 stands.